In that case, stabbies, 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 fault the stabbies, stabbies.
What's a stabby?
A stabby is my daughter Giselle's word for strawberry.
Stabby. Another difficulty we've been having is that the camera that points at you guys just lags, and you're like, but we're gonna get it figured out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now.
At some point.
Oh.
David
later.
Funk, this is a call out to you.
Yeah. Let's see if you're really listening, David.
Can you see every person? Does it give their name for someone who listens to this?
Not at all.
Not even David F, Joseph M.
Not even DF. Not even that.
Jeez, not even their city.
Zip code?
Redding, California.
It gives a little more location based kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't really divided that far.
Dividend. You haven't
Dividend
you've
that
not
far
dividended.
into it yet. But if you're listening to this, we really appreciate that you are a trailblazer, a trail bay
Trailbase.
of the
Coffee
Coffee Sometimes podcast with you boys.
I was thinking before we just jump right into all the topics we have lined out, we could we could address a couple things, just a small reflection time. If I don't know, have you guys listened to this, prior episodes? I guess you always do. But
Yeah.
But one thing I was thinking is that I need to laugh more, at our jokes. To help.
Yeah. Mikey, our operations coordinator and good friend, was giving us some flack about that.
What?
Well, it wasn't flack, but it was hey, I think it doesn't contradict authenticity, but we just say things to one another that are obviously jokes to us, but then no one laughs. The response to the joke is rather awkward silence.
Because it's kind of like us to not laugh at each other and only laugh on the inside.
Yeah, innards.
The best jokes don't get laughs; they get respect.
Wow. Seems
Boys.
like you're getting a FaceTime.
Oh,
You want to take it?
should I take it?
First FaceTime on podcast? Go ahead.
You're live, Rachel. What do you have to say?
Hello.
She's got stage fright.
Thank you for your support and for thinking that my husband is funny.
There you go.
Wow.
I'm glad someone else does, babe, huh?
Yeah, totally.
We made up a song for Giselle.
Are you wearing my shirt?
Yes, I'm wearing your shirt. And don't say that on air, babe. Giselle, can we sing you a song? Ready? Stabbies, 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 ba-bang, stabbies, stabbies, strawberry, 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 boom.
I made sure to get your static effect back into it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you like it, Gigi? Again. Okay, well, that was just one time, Bubba. I'll see you later. I love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Don't say that. Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye.
There you go.
What if we have people who write in and they say, hey, I just want to let you know you're not supposed to use baby talk with your kid.
Because I called her Bubba.
Well, and you're like, because do you know how people feel strongly about that?
Yes.
Have you ever heard that?
Don't treat them like adults.
Yeah, you should treat them like adults. That's why whenever I have kids, if they do something wrong, I am just going to be like, hey, you're gonna have to find a new place to live.
Yeah.
Like you're 4 now.
Let me
Grow
explain to you the severity of your choices, 2-year-old.
Yeah. Did you read any books before you had a kid?
Rachel read several, and she talked to me about them, and
He said, yes, babe.
that's
Yes.
a ongoing conversation for us as parenting philosophy. Rachel would be like, yeah, I read this thing in a book, and I'm like, let's talk about it. And then, but she's usually always right, and
Look to the camera when you say that.
you're always right, babe, unless you're not, but you usually are. But yeah, we can form our own unique parenting philosophy based off of these ideas in books and stuff. So we've relied heavily on those sort of resources over the years.
That was a joke,
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
How about you? Would you, if you were to have a child, tomorrow, would you have read? Would you think you'd read up
Like in the next day.
like tomorrow? Would you read a book today for tomorrow? For tomorrow's baby?
A book today for tomorrow
Baby.
with Riley Westbrook.
Did you also go, "Tss, baby"?
Yeah, I did.
No, because
We cute.
I really don't know. It's funny. I guess that this is going to be kind of contradictory to the theme of us having a podcast,
What?
but I
don't
have
care what other people think.
no. I have trouble like taking the advice of someone on the internet. You almost have to build a level of trust with them. It's like the first podcast, you don't believe anything they said.
Yeah.
The next podcast,
Still.
like you do anything for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's when the switch happens, 1 to 2.
Yeah, it's 1 to 2 always. But I do trust a book more than a blog. I don't know. There's probably no merit to that because someone could lie in a book or say some crap in a book the same way they could say some crap in a blog.
There's a little more sweat that goes into probably writing and publishing a book,
Yeah.
but that may just high risk, high reward it where someone's so crazy they want to put such crazy information out there they're going to go to great lengths to write a book,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm doing at least.
Yeah, what's your book about?
My book is about, thanks for giving me this platform to talk about my book.
Yeah, any plugs, Ethan?
Today
you
we are
wanna-
sponsored by Ethan's book.
What's funny is I've never had a joke book. Like I have a lot of bits in my bit belt. Goes right here.
Your
But
bit set?
my bit set. I always just steal Michael Scott from The Office's book idea for Somehow I Manage. And it's a picture of him on the cover like this.
What's another one of your classic bits that your little skit ideas or like tropes? I feel like you've talked about this a lot over the years.
Yeah, I had this other bit of a character in a movie that like pretends to be the tough guy. Maybe a good representation would be like in the latest Spider-Man movies, Flash Gordon. Like something that would be really funny is that if in the whole movie he's like a little bit taller and then like in a moment of weakness they notice that he's shorter and he says that he wears like 12 pairs of socks and like platform shoes to make himself look taller. I just think that's funny. And I know you only get one ha-ha out of it, but sometimes you got to build up for the ha-has.
Well, the best jokes, they don't get laughs; they get respect.
Round 2 on that one, huh?
Yeah, because it's not true.
All right, so
I
we're-
respect
Yeah,
that.
we're 11 minutes in, so we can just start circling back through all of the material we just said.
That's right.
Yes.
You want to FaceTime your wife? Sing a song?
About stabbies.
Stabby, stabby,
Dude.
stabby.
What did you
stabby.
boys do this weekend?
I worked on renovations on my house. On
Picker, it
Saturday.
didn't happen.
Picker
Picker.
didn't.
Yeah, picker, it didn't happen.
Let me see if I have
Like
any
American
pictures.
Pickers.
That show. Best show
Let's just watch American Picker highlights for this.
Dude,
whole
what if
episode.
we were an American Pickers reaction video podcast?
Anyways,
Picker Pals?
Picker Pals.
we're renovating our master bath, and so I did that, and then I also did some mudding and sanding and watched some football. Had a snow day.
I thought you were gonna say you like went mudding in the snow.
No, we went outside and played in the snow. I made a miniature snowman for Giselle.
Did
Made
you
the
love
big
it?
announcement.
That's right. Yeah, Rachel and I are expecting. We have another kid on the way.
What?
So, praise God for that. Good times. What?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy awesome.
That's right.
So happy for you.
Thanks,
Rachel,
man.
Giselle.
For those who are listening,
Future baby.
we're doing hand hearts.
Yeah, and that one we're gonna have like a side by side shot of us with the hearts.
Just like that. Beow, beow. Anyway, so that was pretty. Doing renovations is pretty frustrating and slightly fulfilling.
Can I challenge you for the rest of the podcast to just say frustrating instead of frustrating? If you have anything like
Sure.
that, great. What was your renovation? I know this is not the theme of the podcast, home renovation, but I'm pretty interested.
Well, Rachel and I sort of have like a Chip and Joanna Gaines vibe going
Wow.
on.
I've always thought that about you too.
And in more ways than one, honestly. Basically, she does all of the like Pinterest inspo for the projects, and then she just gives me a honey-do list. And so we tore down the mirror. Sorry. Oh, okay. I tore down the mirror in the master bath, and that was very fulfilling because it just peeled right off. It's so awesome. And what else did I do? I replaced 4 faucets, which was
No
not-
leaks.
No leaks.
Pretty awesome.
No leaks. I had one of our other guys that works here, Sam Smith. He lives in my basement, and he came upstairs and helped me for a little bit. So I'll have
nice.
to take him
That's
out
really
to a
nice.
nice steak dinner.
Longhorn.
You and your steak dinners. You've been talking about it.
It's my new bit, steak dinner.
Like if you help you out. If
you-
you help you out, then you get steak dinner.
Ross is
Yeah.
taking us to the Oak.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just for being his friends.
spare no expense.
Steak dinner.
Ross, spare no expense. Walters over here.
That's right.
Thank you.
Steak dinner, baby.
Ethan, what do you think you would eat if you went to Oak?
Steak frites. Maybe they have a nice side of onion rings, or maybe the chef could make some oat risotto per order for me, like that one time in Auburn. That was fun.
Never forget that.
That was mental.
Never forget. Never forget. All right. What'd you do this weekend? Huh? Enough about Mr. Home Reno.
You boys know what I did this weekend.
Well, tell the fans. The fans want to know.
I went to Nashville, Tennessee for my birthday.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, he's so old.
Jeez.
That's just
Dude,
so old.
So
It's so
old.
Yeah, quarter cinch.
Quarter
That's
cinch.
almost half a century.
Quarter cinch makes me think of doing this with your face.
Quarter cinch.
Like this would be full cinch.
Yep. Quarter cinch. Your eyes are just kind of closed.
We're doing a good job at laughing.
Yes.
Would give us 3 highlights and 1 low light of your trip to Nashville. Was there a lot of snow?
No. There was no snow in Nashville.
Oh.
There was snow on, the mountain on the way between Nashville and Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
At the tippity top, there was snow. And there were cars and ditches and
Wow.
all this stuff. But other than that, like we left early on Sunday because we were worried about getting Not even getting stuck, just that it might take us 7 hours to get home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the easiest drive I've ever had.
Wow.
The roads were just, I feel like they've gotten more prepared. They being
The government?
the government for these things. in
Big
the South.
brother.
They were already salting the roads, I think last Thursday or Friday
Oh,
in
wow.
preparation. So all the roads were pretty solid.
Hmm.
I'll start with the low light, if that's
Please.
okay.
Yeah.
It was a great trip. There's only really one low light. And you remember the hotel conversation?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I got my way. They did allow us to combine the reservations.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so much work.
Like at the front desk,
Yeah,
like chilling. Mm-hmm. Did they offer you any beverages while you chilled?
absolutely not.
I'm so sorry.
So here's what happened. I get there. I check in. So it's valet only, and there's a parking lot directly
Did you go to
across.
the Holston house?
No. What's the whole... Is that where we stayed?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like the boutique Hyatt.
Downtown.
Well, Michaela and I went with Chris and Nick,
Mm.
and the Holston house only had king beds available. You couldn't do like 2 queens. And we were splitting using points because we couldn't afford this hotel otherwise.
Thank you for your honesty.
It was the Grand Hyatt.
Oh,
It was beautiful.
beautiful.
Beautiful place. So we walk in. I walk up. I explain the situation. I booked tonight. These 2 booked tomorrow night. Can we combine? She was lovely. So kind. Susie was her name.
Thank you, Susie.
So Susie, if you're listening, I really appreciate your help.
She's listening.
She's listening.
Because you told her about the podcast, because that's all we do now is tell everybody that we have a podcast, right?
Yes. So Susie says, okay, we will totally be able to do that for you. I'll go ahead and make the note here. Make sure that the rooms line up. You just need to call in the morning and make sure that they don't come and clean out the room of your goods in the middle of the day. Tell them, explain the situation to them as well. But I will make notes to the best of my ability. Also, you have complimentary valet parking because you booked this stay with World of Hyatt points. I was like, great, because valet was $45.
Ooh.
Darn.
Parking lot across the street was $25, which I'd already paid for. But we left for the night. We come back, we valet, have a great night. Next morning, I call, explain the situation. They're like super cool about it. They're like, okay, yeah, sounds good. You'll just need to come get new room keys. So I go down. I walk up to the counter. I say, hey, we're just here to get our new room keys. I explain the situation. And then she's like, I think she was training. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. She goes and gets her supervisor. He walks up, and the first thing he says is, oh, we don't combine reservations. Just like not accommodating at all. And I was just like, bro, the reservation, like, it's already combined. I talked to a guy this morning. I just need to get the room keys. And I think I had to say, I just need to get the room keys like 6 times. I started to feel like a Karen.
Oh, no. Did you break anything?
I did not break anything. And then he was like, okay, yeah, we'll just send you the bill. It'll be $45 for the valet parking. And I was just like,
No.
bro, Susie told me I have free valet parking.
Did you name drop Susie?
I did.
Wow.
Hey, I would too.
And he was like, okay, I'm really sorry for the trouble. We're also going to give you she wasn't supposed to give you complimentary valet parking because you're not like a globalist member.
Globalist.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with
want to be a
it?
globalist?
I want to be a globalist.
But he was like, because of the trouble, you can have complimentary valet parking today as well.
Then you said, and a free snack.
And I said, and you're also going to pay for my meal at the Continental?
Yeah. And $20.
And
cash.
make me a globalist.
Yeah, so that was the low light. Ultimately, it wasn't, the trip was so great that I wouldn't even call it a low light. It was just a hurdle.
A bump in the road.
Yeah, along the way to a beautiful weekend. Wow. My 3 highlights. 1, I went into Outdoor Voices. I got some pants from Outdoor Voices that I've been wanting. These aren't them. It's too cold for them today.
Okay.
While I was checking out, she was like, "Are you guys in town for the weekend?" Or something along those lines. And we were like, "Yes, we're from North Georgia." And she says, "Oh, where?" And I say, "Well, live here, work in Alpharetta, Roswell area." And she was like, "What do? You look familiar." And I say, "I am a founder of Valor Coffee." And she said, "Valor Coffee is my favorite coffee shop in the world."
Wow.
Yeah.
Was she just saying that?
Did you ask
did you
if
ask?
she
No.
was serious?
Her name was Claire. She lived in Sandy Springs. You guys know her?
I know some Claires.
There was a Claire
Oh,
that was
yeah.
with Lulu for a while. Different Claire.
I think, was she like, they're kind of similar. I don't want to just describe people.
Do you know a Claire that moved to Nashville? It's probably her.
Hi, Claire.
Claire, if you're listening, you were great. Thank you so much. Very
Thanks for the
kind. Made me
pants.
feel awesome.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. No. Do you remember? I think she's the person who she had a black eye that one time and then took a picture with me in it and posted on Instagram. And some people were like, "Did you give this girl a black eye?" And I was like,
Who gets a black eye and then posts a picture with the person that punched them on Instagram?
that checks out. It might just not be a voluntary picture, but this was like she was back in town. You know what I'm talking about? I think
I do remember that. I haven't. This could totally be a completely different person, and that would be funny.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Well, let's just move on.
Okay. Highlight 1 done.
Highlight 2. Let's just be perfectly candid. We know that there have been some stereotypes about bad service in Nashville.
I would agree.
Yes, I've heard this from multiple sources.
Yes. It is like a complete 180 everywhere I went.
Wow.
Wow.
It was incredible.
Refreshing?
Oh, so it made me want to go back.
No way.
Yeah.
They've been through a lot, COVID,
yeah.
tornadoes.
Sure.
Which we have seen the stigma of, understandably so. A lot of service industry individuals through COVID have been labor shortages, supply shortages, stress. Some places have taken a step down in service because of a morale situation. And I totally get it. However, I didn't experience that anywhere I went. Everyone was super helpful, super happy. As soon as you walk in the door, "Hey, how you doing?" Crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I wonder how much has to do with people still working those jobs are the people that really want those jobs and they like it,
That could
Because I
make
feel
sense.
like
Because of the Great Resignation.
the Great Resignation, the job market's pretty open. So one is able to be in their career of choice a little easier. I don't know. But that's great news.
Yeah, it was great. I think I was telling you on the phone that when we talked,
Yes.
places were playing Taylor Swift and Jonas Brothers and having a good time and dancing.
What do you think about that?
I'm glad to see that it's not just the indie stuff,
Yeah.
They're
No
good.
more Mumford and Sons.
Yeah,
you
spread
know?
the love. Lumineer,
No more
Vance
Edward
Joy.
Sharp in the magnetic
Zeros.
Zeros.
Dobbies.
That'd be number 2. What's number 3?
Wait. Sub question to highlight number 2. What was the best coffee you had? You don't have to name all the places. Just did you have any coffees where you're like, this is nice. I like this. Boom.
Can I answer that question in a different way?
Yes.
I got so excited when I went to Sump and saw those freaking lids.
Yeah.
Sump. Yeah. I'm drifting. Since Viora lid went under,
Viora, if you're watching,
Please come back.
please come back.
Gosh.
Or give us your patent and a lot of money so we can do it.
we've been orphans
Orphans.
in this lid game.
To the to-go cup lid.
Yeah.
The hot to-go cup lid market.
The great lid resignation.
It's dry. It's a dry market.
And I see these flavor aroma. Is that what it's called?
Foam aroma.
Foam aroma lids.
They really missed out on not just saying faux aroma.
I'm gonna admit,
Froma.
if I had to do a comprehensive review, I would say it's not quite where Viora was. Well, okay.
Can I grab one?
A Viora lid.
Yeah.
Go
You can
get it.
grab one.
All right, for all the listeners, I'm going to be gone for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, we'll just have the camera on me for these 15 seconds. So it's not quite on the level of Viora in the sense that I think the liquid has more potential to spill, and that was maybe Viora's biggest pro.
For sure.
The other pro is that Viora, it filled up this reservoir and you got some of the scent. Foam aroma does have that because it just has literally a hole in the middle of the lid. Makes me a little scared of spillage,
But it never came out.
but it never came out.
Come out.
Why don't you show the viewers?
I'm back. I have to get my swag ready.
Put your IEMs on.
What's that song that's like, "Babe, put my swag on"?
Take it up. What's up?
It says, hop up out the bed.
Yeah.
How about that, babe?
Get money.
Get money.
Oh. Da, 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 da.
So for those of you just listening, there is essentially this lid. They are vintage at this point because one day we received an email that said, hey, we will not be able to produce lids for 8 weeks because our production line is out of commission. We say, we so sad.
No.
And they didn't respond to us ever. So
Ever again. What was that, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? 6 years ago? 7 years
I
ago?
think 14 years ago. Yeah.
The problem with lids, for those who don't know, is that usually if you're watching on YouTube, there is just a measly hole here where you can essentially just suck the liquid out of it.
You literally have to suck. Like,
Yeah, it's true. And any Joe Schmo knows that your nose
Joe Schmo knows.
That was a killer joke.
dang, okay.
Mikey, are we doing better?
Any See? Any Joe Schmo knows that their nose has a huge role to play in the woes of. Sorry, no. Okay, has a huge. Okay, wow. Your nose has a huge role to play in the taste process. And so whenever you just slap a hot to-go lid on a nice aromatic geisha or
Yes.
anaerobic natty,
Who's putting that in a to-go cup?
no one in their right mind, I'll tell you that much. Anyways,
Suckers.
this Viora lid, essentially, you tilt the cup back, and this reservoir right here fills up with coffee, and so it basically feels like you are drinking out of a just mug of coffee, as opposed to just sucking your $6 pour over out of a tiny hole.
So I have on the screen here the foam aroma lids.
This is not sponsored by Foam Aroma.
So you essentially have the same situation.
Yeah, I see it right
Probably a
before.
little more aromatic, but a little more potential to spill.
I already bought some.
Yes. Did they have 8 ounce?
I didn't see 8 ounce.
Man. Foam aroma, if you're listening, we want the 8 ounce.
Maybe they have it. I would just bought it off a website. I don't think they sell. I think they distribute, which is crazy, right? Like, I know it makes sense somehow that, excuse me, I had a burp. I don't understand, and I know it does make sense more, but like, if you make a product, why do you not sell it at retail price yourself ever?
I mean, probably just the logistics of it. Mm-hmm. Like to never have to worry about consumer facing. I mean, we're passionate about that, so it's a little different.
Yeah, I'm talking about like web orders though too. Or is that a similar?
That's kind of what I mean, just like direct to consumer. Because I would say that you probably then don't have to have much of a customer service department, right?
more maybe like
just
account managers for your distributor
Like
partners.
someone complains, has to go up a chain, which is bad, but good.
Bad but good. Well, that was a little tangential, but very important. I'm glad that we could speak our truths on the to-go coffee lid because I think we've just been in. Is it like the 7 stages of grief
Yeah.
for?
What are we in now?
And here at
Anger.
HQ, if you use
Raw
a Fiora
anger.
lid, you have to wash it and reuse it because
Yeah, we
they
have-
are relics.
We have like 50 of these that we. Anyways, that was point 2. Wait, but do you not? Is that what you want? Did you want to end there with coffee? Was all your coffee just kind of like good?
It was all good.
It was like I'm on vacation. I'm not even thinking about it.
It was all like good.
Like I'm 25. Were you just trying to get like them to pour like shots in your coffee, like Jaeger bombs, because you're partying for your birthday?
Yes, that was it.
How fast do you think you could drink a piping hot 12-ounce cup of coffee? Like if it was
This is the content we need right here.
like if there was some money on the line, like you just got it from the air pot and you set it down. Do you think you could take down
Your
12
tongue
ounces?
would be so
Do you think you
burnt.
could take down 12 ounces of coffee in 30 seconds?
No way.
This
A minute
I don't think it would be ever worth it to do that.
for like $5,000.
Man,
It's like if you drink all this in 30 seconds, I'll give you $5,000.
I'm trying to think of what the most efficient way. You think just like opening up and like just going,
funnel.
Yeah, like waterfalling it to try to cool down the temp
Oh.
and letting it just like splash all over your face. It's mental.
Absolutely metal.
You know who could do it?
Who?
Iman Shumpert.
he could before Ross could, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll give him that one.
For those listening, it's not because of anything to do with Iman Shumpert's mouth.
I don't know, big man. You know, maybe he's just like tougher
It's just that Iman Shumpert can beat Ross
at anything.
And if you listen to podcast episode number 1, you'll understand why.
There it is.
There it is. All right, highlight number 3.
Number 3 was Dinner at the Continental by Sean Brock.
Oh,
Didn't know what we were getting ourselves into because they don't publish their prices on their website. So we sat down and we were a little sticker shocked.
everything's market.
Yeah, it's to market.
Did it say
But-
market on the website or just like nothing?
I did not plan much of this trip. Michaela did it because she planned it for my birthday. So sweet.
You said it.
And she was just like, we're gonna do this, and I'm glad we did. But it was a tasting menu, so it was well worth it. Or
Small plates, tapas.
prefixed, yeah.
Yeah,
Pricks fix.
tapas.
Very very good food. First course was oyster with caviar on it. It was wild.
You ever had that?
Never.
Wake up, dude.
No, never had that.
And then there was tiny citrus salad of sorts. And then,
Did you ask for more?
yeah, I said, can I get more of the ranch dressing on this?
Is this one bottomless?
And then there was another salad. And then there was the main course. I had a fish. I don't remember what it was.
Halibut.
Grouper.
I don't think it was halibut or grouper.
Flounder.
But they had like sliced potato
Guppy.
formed into a skin of the fish. And then I had...
Wait. They sliced the potatoes in the shape of a fish?
Let's see here.
Pick or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new segment on the Valor, sometimes coffee, sometimes podcast. Pick or it didn't happen.
Oh yeah. That's the theme music for this segment. Bow bow. Bow 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 bow
All right, here we go. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, ready for that. Photoshop. No.
No, edit it. We want to see you edit it. Edited it.
I don't want to learn more.
to Camera Raw.
Okay.
Is that your
This was-
citrus salad?
No,
Instagram
this
eats
wasn't the
first.
citrus salad. This was the other salad. So, gorgeous greens grown in Nashville.
Sure.
And then there was whatever this is.
Methinks I see an avocado on the
Well,
bottom.
there's an avocado, and he brought it out and he said, "All right, there's an avocado pear on the bottom." And he's like, "That's what you want to call avocados." No, sorry. Let me start again. He
Edit this out.
He says, "There's an alligator pear on the bottom." That's what I tell my kids avocados are. And I said,
You're like, we're not children. This is a fancy restaurant.
What?
there
Alligator
was
pear?
this extremely citrusy, yogurty situation here. And then just look at that. The lighting is bad, but just understand.
Latte art.
It was like latte art, but for food.
Huh.
So this is the fish, and there was this potato skinny stuff,
Like a remoulade,
Like a gratin.
and then lentils underneath.
like a crudité.
Like an accoutrement.
And also, this was one of the desserts.
That looks like egg, though.
So custard, and then because they were doing a take on what ice cream used to be before commercial refrigeration existed, and they would essentially have to just use something cold and then use a block of ice and just have like mix it with shave ice, and that was their ice cream.
What?
Isn't that nuts?
That's me.
Mind equals blown.
Yeah. So it was great.
It was all like $20.
Yeah, it was only $40.
And that was at Applebee's?
That was at Applebee's.
Oh, the 2 for $20.
Yep.
Yep.
2 for $20.
So yeah, thanks for hearing me out there, boys.
This episode title will be Riley's Trip to Nashville. Five do's and don'ts when going to Nashville.
Oh, and I went to Chopper.
What?
That's the place I was going to tell you to go to.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Is that the place with the robot?
The
robot?
the Robitussin.
Yeah. It's a cheeky bar.
Cheeky?
Yeah. Cheeky tiki.
Welcome to Cheeky Tiki.
Tiki bar.
And it was good.
Okay. What'd you get?
I
Mai Tai?
can't remember what I
You got a Mai Tai.
Something that had Irish whiskey and
Did-
then something else that was boozy and stirred because the first drink was so sweet. Which is a tiki bar thing. I get it.
Totally fine. Did you go to Attaboy?
No.
Did you go to the Smiling Elephant?
Let me tell you.
Did you go to Nashville then?
After the Continental, we were like, let's go to Attaboy. And we went, and the wait was so long.
No.
It was a Saturday night, and it was like raining, and it was gross, and we were like, we'll be good.
No.
We were not good.
People want to cozy up when the weather's like that.
Yeah. But
But
I had drinks at Pinewood Social, and they were great.
did you play bowling?
Yes.
Was it fun? Did you win?
I understand the concept of what they're doing with vintage bowling.
What do you mean vintage? Is it everything's just smaller?
No, it's full-size lanes, but literally the equipment is from like the 50s.
Wow.
So like balls get stuck in the feeder.
That's part of the flair, I guess, huh?
It is a part of the flair, and like the scoring isn't automatic. You have to take score yourself.
Ooh, that sounds hard.
It was hard because you're like 1, 2, 3. So if I was going to go bowling again,
Hard, like one,
two, three.
dude, pins are hiding behind other pins. Give me a break.
No, I totally understand.
And so it was a little tough, and I would probably just go there for drinks next time because the drinks were great.
That's great.
And then I would just go bowling at like Stars and Strikes.
Stars and Strikes. Do you know that when we went one time to Nashville together, we went to the Pinewood Social, but we just went to the Crema right out front.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Open late.
And Okay. And we saw these lids for the first time.
That's right.
Isn't that fun? Little connective story.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about that
Full
earlier.
circle.
Yeah, just like earlier. Whoop. Okay. That's awesome. Thanks for the comprehensive review of your trip.
Yeah, I'm glad I could take up half of this podcast.
Would
with
do
my
again?
Nashville talk. Would do again. Maybe you boys could come.
Maybe.
Really?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. Someone's got to keep making the bacon here, you know?
That's right.
What's it been like for you guys starting a business with two of your best friends? Like, I mean, best friend's a strong word, and I know that saying like you're my best friend is like, you know, awkward for some people. But you guys are some of my best friends.
Well, Ethan would argue that.
You guys are in. You guys are in my like.
I have a lot of friends.
You're in my like top 30 best friends.
Well,
Top 50.
But
I get your point.
You know, you're talking about like, oh, maybe we can come to Nashville next time. Like, what's it been like starting a business with some of your best friends for you guys? Insights.
Do you want me to start because you talked recently?
yes.
Okay. Wow. It was kind of, for me, personally speaking, from a personal standpoint, I met you guys and then we started the biz, you know? Like, we didn't build a friendship, we built a business. And then within the business, blossomed friendship, which is a good sign, you know, that we became friends through work, through business, through toil.
Right.
And so I feel like it's kind of the whole thing about when you go through hard stuff with people, it bonds you.
Totally.
Like there's a bond between us, a James Bond between us that is like different than anybody else in the whole wide world. You know, we have something that no one else knows. You know, it's very personal. It's very intimate. It's very trusting. You know, that we can just like look each other in the eyeballs and be like, yeah, we know where the other is at, where they're coming from, how they're feeling. So yeah, there's this really solid peace of mind and like comfortability because we spend so much time together. You know, that when we're off the clock too, it's just a chill time. I feel comfortable.
Do you think it's always been that way? Like, as far as I'm trying to stir up some tea here, and not big T, like the term tea. Do you guys know that one?
Yeah.
As far as like, so people want to start a business with their friends because they like their friends and they want to be able to spend time with their friends. Some people would just go into that and hope for the best, which is what we did. Some people would vehemently, that's a word.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
I'm not very good at pronouncing, so I just
Vehemently. I'm going to go with
vehemently, but that sounds worse. Sorry.
argue that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't start a business with your friends. And I've heard some people say, like, if you start a business with your friends, then you either choose friendship or you choose a business relationship with those people. They are mutually exclusive, right? Comments on that, like how has it been maintaining both the business relationship with each other and that side of it being productive and, on task and growing together as business partners, but also being able to be off the clock and just hang? Because I feel like it's just, it hasn't been, we've had our bumps along the way, but I feel like it's been pretty smooth overall. And I think a huge cornerstone for all of us in the midst of that is understanding each other, which I felt we were really able to do by binging Enneagram podcasts, just Enneagram books, Enneagram podcasts, Enneagram coaching sessions, Enneagram hats, Enneagram t-shirts. Like,
That doesn't really make a noise when you bang your head on the mic.
Noted.
Boom. Boom.
Hey, that's an SM7. Be careful. Yeah, I just think understanding each other, where each other is coming from, allows me to compartmentalize. If one of you is not in a good place, frustrated, or like shut down, or like flare up, whatever it is that we all struggle with, I can not take that personally, and I can just, I don't know, give grace in that moment and give space.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
You know, I think there's some amount of truth to the friendship versus business thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just probably a true statement that the three of us would hang out more if we weren't with each other all day, every day.
True.
It's not that I get tired of you guys. It's just whenever you are in a workspace, especially like in business, it's good to diversify. Because if you only have a group of people seeing the same things all the time, you just all turn into the same person. So especially to go with another few individuals, have different perspective on your life. It's nice. And it's all about perspective, you know?
Wow.
You mean prospective?
Yeah. It's all about perspective. And but what we've created within Valor is way more beautiful. No, I'm not going to say it's way more beautiful than what we could have created with a friendship, but we still retained the friendship, and then we also created a business that makes people happy and gives people a job and etc.
Yeah, that was going to be my one take on it, was that it's just a different type of friendship that needs maybe some more accompaniment in your life. Mm-hmm. And that if we just hung out with each other, which we did for like the first 3 or 4 years, you know, like we did almost everything together. And
part of that was because we were working like twice as much as we're working now.
Well, yeah, and also, what?
When you get off at 7 p.m., you kind of just have to go get dinner together.
Right. Yeah, and a byproduct is you also lose all of your other friends.
Yes.
So it was kind of like, not misery loves company, but, you know, we were just in the same position. So our lives just synced up really easily. But now that the dust is kind of settled from the like rise and grind hustle of the startup, there's a little bit more space for everybody to have their own relationships and dynamics outside of work. And it's great to hang out outside of work, but there's like a pretty high chance that we're going to talk about work if we're hanging out outside of work, because that's our biggest like thread, like our most common denominator is work. And so that, to your point, like having a diversification of relationships would be most helpful for that to help bring a little bit more balance to your life.
What about so we talked about starting a business with friends, but what about hiring friends? That's also, I feel like, a hot topic that I hear people throw around. It, you know, they're starting a coffee shop and they have friends that are in a similar stage of life that they're in, and they like their friends, but they're afraid that it might be weird to be in a, you know, superior to employee relationship with someone that they are good friends with. Mm-hmm. And Ethan, I mean, we always, I don't know, for some amount of time, I thought we would never hire friends, but I feel like it's worked out for us so far, and I'm wondering why.
Maybe proper communication, proper boundaries, Like, I don't think we ever have to say, like, we're the boss, I think maybe the biggest aspect of that helps is that we're still very much a part of the company. We're very much in the company. And so there is a little bit less of a power struggle when that's the case. Like, it would probably be pretty weird if my friend hired me and they were just like an owner and I was just doing their bidding. And that would feel pretty like chainy, like lower than, less than. But in our circumstance, we pretty much just work side by side with the people that we hire. And one of our pit crew members actually mentioned that was like a really powerful dynamic for them, was knowing that like the owners of the company are still, getting behind the bar. They're still doing deliveries and they're just in it, Yeah. So I think it doesn't make a ton of circumstances happen where we have to say, well, I'm the boss and you have to listen to me now. It's just, I think we always take the approach of like, what do you guys want to do? What's our approach here? It's very communal, communistic, right?
Yeah, communistic.
Communist, yeah.
Well, I think we've also always just sent, whenever a friend applies or we approach a friend and say, hey, you should work with us, we just send them through the same exact interview process as anyone else. Mm-hmm. And I think that works because we have a really great interview process that is like, we've just, it's not like it's incredibly revolutionary. Revolutionary? Yeah.
You nailed it.
It's not like it's incredibly innovative or whatever, our interview process, but it is, we've thought a lot about it and it's very anchored in our values. And we actually have like a system for interviewing as opposed to just like it all being like a feel and instinct thing.
Yeah. And to any friend that we've brought on, it's because of they fit the mold that we're looking for. I don't think we've ever just started with let's hire a friend
because they're a friend.
Right. And to all of our friends out there, I mean, no offense. I think we may have talked about this before in all of our episodes here. I just lose track.
Yeah, all three. Sorry,
yeah.
4 of them.
4?
Yeah, because episode 0 with Christian.
Oh, man. Never at the first. Never the starter, huh? Never mind.
You were saying.
Yeah, I was saying that what was it? Oh, in the interview process, in hiring, all the interviews that we've done and the people we've met, I have truly become exposed to this reality that there are amazing people that aren't good fits for our company or our brand or what we're looking for in a certain position. And it's not like some BS like, hey, you're a really great person, but we're going to look for a better one. It's like, no, we're just looking for a very specific type of person to fulfill this niche job. Like, we've talked about it. Like, my wife, for example, is, I think you guys would agree, she's a pretty wonderful person.
Wonderful person.
But she's not, crazy outgoing and, wants to be behind the bar every day hooting and hollering, But I think she's great. Mm-hmm. I think she's pretty good. So when it comes to the friend aspect, I don't even think about starting with I want to hire my friends, but we're just looking for people that are awesome. And then sometimes they're our friends.
Right. And another thing I feel like we've seen and learned. Even with the last thing you said about someone could even be the right fit for our organization, but the wrong fit for that specific position at that specific time. Because if you just take our pit crew, our cafe team, we want people that are, they have social gas to burn. They've got social capacity where they can more or less thrive in a environment where it's just like interaction after interaction after interaction after interaction after it's just over and over. As much as you can thrive in an environment like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean they have to be this like incredibly loud, outgoing freak show, that's just like willing to cut the music off and sing to everyone. Even though,
Mikey.
Thank you, Mikey. Even though we do need those people, and I feel like for the most part, we've just had a lot of those people that are more on the crazy, loud, awesome, kind, wonderful side. But to even have people on the cafe team that are maybe quieter or not as crazy, but they still fit the cafe team. So I feel like we've even turned down people that were the right fit for our organization, the right fit for the cafe team, but at the wrong time, because we needed someone to balance out our team dynamic.
That's a good point. I love that. What do you think, Riley? This is all hogwash?
All hogwash. What?
Hogwash.
I'm not familiar.
It's German.
Is hogwash German? Yeah, I'm on the same page. As long as you're running people through the same process. The biggest fear I have is hurting feelings. Or I don't even know fear. It's just, you have this business, and if you're approached by someone who is a friend and it doesn't end up, they don't get hired. It's a lot better for them to not get hired than to get hired and then it be a bad fit. So that's
Get fired.
yeah. That's where a good interview process comes in. And I think we've realized our interview process isn't perfect. And we've modified and made changes. And I think we're in a pretty good spot now.
Perfect.
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 Pretty good is perfect.
But, you just, you don't want to ruin friendships over this. You don't want to lie and be like, hey, we're actually not hiring anymore. And we wouldn't really do that. But I've definitely had to say to certain. I remember whenever we first started, we got hit up by some friends, some old friends, and we were just like, "Sorry, we're not hiring friends." And that's kind of changed to this point. But business is all about risks.
Yeah, take
Very
a risk.
insightful.
Yeah, how about that?
Choose your risks, I guess.
Choose
take 'em
your
all.
risks. Don't take them all,
Or catch them all.
or catch them all. Riley Westbrook, Ethan Rivers.
Ross Walters. Well, what do you say, boys?
Are you trying to rap?
This is I'm putting us at a fork in the road where I'm saying, hey, we can keep going. Or we can stop.
We can go play Halo.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of always at that moment, though. It's like we can keep going or not.
Well, not if someone's in a killer monologue.
Yeah.
Like if someone's monologuing like a smoke show,
Right.
then, let them be.
What do you guys think about this coffee we had today? It's 2 months old?
What
Really?
coffee was it?
What coffee was it?
Anaerobic.
The new one? The Ethiopia?
I don't know.
Wait.
What do you mean
where
you don't know? Where did you get
it?
the coffee?
Where did you get it?
Over there.
What did it say?
Describe it.
It had the
better.
Costa Rica.
Okay, so that's like 2 month old Costa Rica anaerobic.
No
that
way.
has been sitting out.
Yeah.
No way.
I was gonna say it tasted sweet and boring
What do you think?
and pretty good.
Sweet, boring, pretty good.
I honestly liked it better like that than when it's fresh.
This kind of tasted more like like an espresso blend that was kind of fruity.
This anaerobic has always had a little too much of a whiny thing for me. Mm-hmm. I don't really like whiny coffees. They complain too much.
Isn't that a funny concept? That we
Yeah. Thank you.
that we do things within a business that we sometimes don't
Personally endorse.
personally catch a vibe with. And it's not even personally endorse. I endorse that coffee. I think it's awesome.
Dude.
I think the price we sold it for was totally justified for the experience you received. However, I typically do not drink naturals, and I especially do not drink anaerobic naturals.
Wow.
However, plenty of people want that and buy it. And how many people have been like, that's the best coffee I've ever had?
3. 100 million. That's almost the population of the United States. It's a lot of people.
So it's the same way with,
You know what I mean?
it's often the same way with merch.
Yep. Oh, I was going to say, maybe we could go around and pick one thing.
That we don't like about Valor.
Maybe it could be a little bit more of like a humble moment of, I didn't think that this was going to be awesome, but someone else did find it to be awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when we first, this is the easiest one. When we were doing most of our design stuff, or like definitely casting the vision for our like merch and design, and then we did one of our friends, Bridget, did a crop top, a pink crop top. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not going to wear it. So it's probably not going to go well because I don't like it. You know? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was that stupid. I could have been that stupid. But we drop it and we sell. That was the thing that we sold.
Sold out in 2 days.
Sold out in 2 days
or
or something.
Our highest velocity item.
Velocity was very high, sky high. So that's a little bit of a cheeky example, but something that like maybe you didn't think was going to take off, or something that you didn't personally resonate with that you found someone else did. Does anything come to mind?
A bit of a mid-drifty example, but yeah.
Sure.
The crop top example specifically, we still have people message us on Instagram pretty often saying, when are those coming back?
Would you like to address them right now, Big T?
To the messengers? Messengers?
I think it would be messengers.
Yeah.
Messengers.
I'm the messenger to the messengers.
Wow.
We'll have something for you soon. Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
With our new branding.
Yeah, with our new branding.
New branding. What do you think, Bubby?
Well, we have a wholesale market exclusive coffee called Miracle. Don't we, boys?
What?
We do.
What?
And this is a coffee that is only available for wholesale partners. And basically, we just wanted to have a coffee that was more cost effective. I love how people say words like cost effective.
Cheap.
It's cheaper. Okay. It's a cheaper coffee. Still ethically sourced, all that great stuff. Still got to have it aligned with our values.
Come on.
But it's for people like hotels that just want to have like a turn and burn coffee. People that, buy coffee pre-ground. It's always better just to send them Miracle. Because sometimes we want a coffee that's just simple. That's like not a crazy complexity, crazy acidity. It is simple by design. It's just like, this coffee tastes like coffee. And so I don't ever brew that coffee up personally, but we sell through a good bit of it.
We sell the dickens out of it.
I wouldn't go that far, but we use it on cold brew.
Cold brew.
And it's delicious on cold brew. So I would say
It really is.
that's probably mine.
Gosh darn it, there's the answer right there. Cold brew.
My answer was going to be nitro cold brew. I can't tell you a time since maybe when it first came out and everyone was like, "You've got to try this stuff." I went in and ordered one.
You drank the whole thing?
I probably drank the whole thing because I was like, "This costs $750."
$700.
But it's not something that I even go into our own cafe and order.
Right.
But I mean, we have people requesting it, and we have people who love it and live by it. Mm-hmm. And we made it taste good. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where you got to go. If you want to offer something to the masses, people are asking for it, you can either be like, okay, I'm going to just do this. And I'm not drinking it, so I don't care. As long as the sales happen. Wrong. Make it taste good, which we did. Same thing with syrups. Remember, whenever we first started with syrups, we were the coffee guys who hated syrups.
Wow. Truth bomb.
We, at some point, thought it was cool when places were like, no syrups, just lattes.
Just how it should be.
Then we changed, and we said, you know what, let's make syrups, but let's make them really awesome. Mm-hmm. Lavender vanilla, caramel cardamom, mocha. Need I say more?
Lavender Vanilla bought this mic I'm speaking into right now.
That's right.
Why didn't we do sea salt mocha? If we put like a little spin on everything, but we were just like, mocha's cool.
Never
as
too
is.
late. Never too late.
Well, we did like all natural mocha.
Non-alkalized.
Yes, that was it.
There we go.
Yep.
You love chocolate.
I love chocolate. What? No, I don't. I really don't.
You talked about this specialty chocolate thing.
No. Oh. No, that has nothing to do with chocolate.
We're going there right now?
Yes. Let's go there. Well, I need to answer first. My thought was matcha. I don't like matcha. People love matcha. We got the best matcha.
Best matcha provider, too.
Well, that's what I meant. Sorry. Mizuba matcha.
Love you.
This is me doing that. It's so good.
It is.
For the people that like it. I'm not going to say that. I think
It's so good for people that like it.
yeah. For the matcha heads out there. We know who you are, matcha heads, matcha masters.
Shout out to the matcha heads.
I had this idea a long time ago, like 15 years ago when I was 9. I had this idea as a 9-year-old. Well, I don't know. It was probably a few years ago. That the coffee bean and the cacao bean are eerily similar in a lot of ways that, if I had to go into it now, it would just take much too much time.
And you know about all of it.
And I know every nuance that there needs to be discussed here, but just trust me here that they're similar. And I was like, what if? And they have to get roasted, blah, 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 blah. They're kind of processed the same, blah, 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 blah. What if you made a coffee bar instead of a chocolate bar? Like you took a coffee bean and you sent it through the cacao process versus sending a cacao bean through the chocolate process. And held on to that idea for a while, stewing on it. And then lo and behold, someone else already did it. And I'm interested to see if it takes off. Other people do it. So right now, the only people that I saw were doing it were Condor chocolates.
And let's just be clear, it was delicious.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Lovely.
But the crazy thing is that one bar had 300 milligrams of caffeine. It's like 3 cups of coffee, I think.
Get messed up.
You can get tweaked. You can get tweaked on that thing. So, you got to take your bites at a time. But it was awesome. They did use cocoa butter, so chocolate, the pod, I guess, is still involved. And they use some sugar, which makes sense. But I was thinking, if you were able to showcase different origins of coffee and have that be expressed somehow in the coffee bar, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
We'll get there.
Yeah. What, next week?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll probably have to stop the podcast to make time for that, though.
Sorry. Coffee bar over podcast any day of the week.
Well,
You want to sign off?
I think it's time to wrap. for our listeners and our watchers, I know you don't want to hear this.
Oh no.
If you like, subscribe, rate. It really
Review.
does help us. Share with your friends. Throw it up on Instagram. I just had that little whistling S. We were talking about how isn't it
I
just
need
so
the whistling
soothing to
S.
just talk like this? If you do that for us, we can keep doing this forever. So we hope this is helpful. We love you.
Can I say something?
Yes.
If you like this podcast, we just invite you to subscribe and rate,
Review.
thumbs up, thumbs. Can you do this emoji?
I
You
don't know.
kind of like it?
I don't know if that's an emoji.
None
It
of
should be.
these. All right.
Zero. They
Zero.
don't even show those on YouTube anymore, so we're good.
We're gonna find you. Really?
They don't show them to viewers. They show them to the creator.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you want to sign off with anything?
Stabbies.